Bought this brand new Gretsch bass for $100 because the neck broke. Let's see if I can fix it. Brand new. I gave $100 for this. This neck is broke all to hell. I'm gonna try and glue all this up and see if I can save this. If I can, then I got me a $100 bass. Short scale Gretsch, which is something I've kind of been wanting to play around with. See how it goes. You can see that's pretty bad. Typical kind of broken in shipping sort of thing. Neck is broke almost completely through. And the fingerboard is separated from the maple. Made in China. When it comes to a break like this, a lot of your success rate is going to depend on how clean this fits back together. When I take this toothpick out and squeeze all this back together, you really can't even see the break. So that means this is a great candidate for fixing a neck break. I've put this toothpick in here to open all this up so we can see inside. Get a little bit better look at this. You can see the fingerboard. I think there's spots where you can actually maybe see all the way through. I can. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera or not. And the glue that I like to use is good old Type Bond. Should this bass years from now get passed on to someone else who needs to undo this joint or take the fingerboard off for whatever reason, this stuff is predictable. With a little heat, it will come right off, just like most luthier glue should. The other thing I'm using is an old end off of a bass string. Actually, it's new. And we're going to fish that glue. We're going to use that to wick the glue as far into this crack as we can, all the way down. Then we're going to clamp this up, and let it sit, and see if it holds. It's not a terrible break. I have fixed these before. Gibson has got a reputation for this particular type of break, which for some reason leads people to think that other types of instruments are immune to this sort of break, but they're not. I get the other side. Try and get a little bit in there anyway, as much as we can. When we clamp this, it'll squeeze this glue into some of the further recesses. The other reason for not using epoxy and crazy industrial glues like that is because this break goes all the way through to the truss rod. We don't want to glue the truss rod in place because I am sure that this neck will need some adjusting when this is done. So I think if you look, you can see the truss rod, and we don't want to get any more glue on that than we have to. And because this section of the break is so big, I'm actually just going to squeeze this in there. See how it's just kind of drifting back in there? Now that I've got that in, I can force it in some more. When this is all done, I'll clean up all this excess glue. Try and get on the other side of this toothpick a little bit. Break starts to go away. Same thing, work it in with the, it's another great reason to use this glue is that it seeps in just like you want it to. It's got the right viscosity for a repair like this. All right, let's hit the other side, which is just as bad on the fingerboard. Same thing. Should have put a toothpick in there. Especially want to get some up around the nut. All right, now that it's all glued up, we're going to clamp it. And that's what we end up with. See how that all cleans up with just a little wet paper towel. Get all that squeeze out off of there. Best to clean it up while it's still wet. Just makes things easier. That's pretty good. We'll clean it up spick and span when it's all set and I can get these clamps off and out of my way. So this is what our clamping system looks like when we're done, and it's been 24 hours. So let's take these clamps off, see if our glue held. It's got a little bit of a ridge. We'll have to sand that. little bit of a glue line that I can clean up with my rag and some water. That's what it comes out as. We tune it up to pitch, just to be sure everything's working. A little rattly, probably got to do a truss rod adjustment. Next, me and Jack are going to work through a few grades of sandpaper blocks. 180 grit. Next, we'll go to a 220 grit. When it's all done, that's about it. Work the sandpaper to whatever grit makes you happy. I went to about 600 on this. You can still kind of see a little bit of a line. I could drop fill that with CA glue and sand it down smooth if I wanted it to be completely invisible, but I frankly don't care. Bridge pickup, neck pickup, pickup selector, pretty straightforward stuff. Tone control, it sounds pretty good. Neck pickup. Full volume. Quiet controls, the knobs turn real nice for a $300 bass, and that's what these run retail new. It's just a fantastic little bass. I think it's a 2220 Junior Jet. Comes in 3 colors. Just a cool little bass. If you got small hands, this is going to help you out. This is actually why this was bought. My goddaughter wants to learn to play the bass, and she has hands about this big, and sometimes the things that I'm trying to teach her, she can't reach because she doesn't have the reach. So this bass should make that a little better. See you next time.